Hi, everyone. It is Marketing Monday. Today I'm starting with a quote from an award-winning British creative director and author, Dave Trott. He said, "Creativity may well be the last legal, unfair competitive advantage we can take to run over the competition." So who doesn't want a legal but unfair competitive advantage to overrun the competition? Most of you know me. I am Lynn Weinman, founder of KidGlov, and today I'm sharing 5 secrets for how to set the stage for breakthrough creative ideas. This is intended for leaders and marketers in purpose-driven businesses. However, if you are with a nonprofit organization or a community health initiative, you might find this valuable as well. So, we all know creativity is key in marketing, advertising, and branding because it's truly the secret sauce that helps amplify your message, engage your audience, and spur them to action. And there's actually quite a bit of scientific data available that proves that overt persuasion often fails to change behavior. And that is weird because instinctually, we feel like if we tell someone what to do, they should do it. But in reality, the data and the science shows that if we can attract and engage attention through creativity, there's a high probability that information will not only be remembered, but it will also be shared, which even extends the reach of the work even further. So, whether you work with an advertising agency or if you have an in-house creative team, you might believe creativity is this somewhat mystical and magical process, which it is. I think creative people are rare and beautiful birds for sure, but there are some things you can do as a marketer to help your creative team come up with those breakthrough ideas that will set you apart. And I recently had the opportunity to listen to our great creative team at KidGlov share their tips for what it takes to really come up with those breakthrough ideas. And here are those secrets. I'm giving them to you today. So, 5 secrets. The first one is to clearly define the challenge that you want to solve in your marketing. Think about the who, what, why, where, and how. More specifically, who is that audience? Define it as tightly as possible. What do you want that audience to do? What is the action they should take? Why should they do it? Which is really going to get into the proof points as to why your product or your service or your effort or initiative is better. And then where do they find the solution and how specifically do you want them to respond? Before you start a project, make sure you answer those questions. We often refer to this as the creative brief. But without that, sometimes we think that it's easier to be creative when you have a blank page. But actually, that blank page or the blinking cursor can be terrifying. Our team even shares that asked to be in concept without a clearly defined challenge really restricts them. It might either lead them to panic, and we cannot come up with great ideas when we're panicked or stressed, or the need to really overperform and come up with numerous ideas, which may or may not even be correct, or maybe it will lead to your team making up stories that they're trying to solve or making up their own challenge, which often is not the best way for people to invest their time as well. So, a clear definition of the challenge leads the creative team to the freedom they need to come up with amazing ideas. And that word freedom, that leads me to the second secret. Give your team the freedom to solve the challenge. So creativity can be somewhat like play. The best ideas come from strange places. And once you've defined that challenge, then back off and allow your team some space. I have observed that often a process where the team has a written brief to review, then they come together to discuss their ideas, they separate to do some individual brainstorming, then come back together for collaborative brainstorming and refinement is a good formula to follow. It is very, very, very rare that you are going to set up a meeting, much less a Zoom call, where you're going to share the brief and the ideas are going to flow freely. And by the end of 45 minutes, you're going to have the answer. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? That's because it is. So your creative team also needs time to ruminate on an idea. So time to ruminate is the third secret. And can you think of a time when someone asked you to be brilliant on the spot, whether it was in a presentation or in a sports competition of some sort or in a meeting or a performance? It's stressful, right? And brilliant people need time. The brain needs time to relax in order to reach that best idea. And that idea might come to you when you're working out or playing with the kids or walking your dog or painting or whatever it is you like to do. But that's why fast turnaround timelines often cheat the process and ultimately the outcome of the work. Give your creatives time to ruminate. The fourth secret is safety, to provide an environment of safety. And one of my favorite authors, who I've mentioned before on Marketing Monday, is Simon Sinek. And my favorite book of his is called Leaders Eat Last. And in that book, he talks about cultivating a circle of trust. Because when your people feel safe within your culture, they can invest all of their time and energy in coming up with breakthrough creative ideas versus using part of that mental energy to be worried about guarding themselves against harsh response or ridicule or reprisal of any time. I like to say that creatives often put their heart and soul on the table when they present an idea. Few people are really brave enough to present a breakthrough idea, and a culture of safety will help give them that courage. Now, that doesn't mean you have to love every idea. It certainly does not mean that you should fill your meetings with fake flattery. It just means that you must respond with empathy and that any criticism should be constructive and compassionate. So here we go. Here's the fifth secret. The final secret is to commit to quality. And I often counsel our clients at KidGlov that you never want to have to tell your customers that you have a quality service or product. They should just feel quality in everything you do, namely your marketing. And at the end of the day, your marketing is only as strong as that weakest link. So if you challenge your creative team to come up with a great concept, but then insist they use terrible photos that your staff took on their old iPhone, or that they develop a beautiful brochure that you're going to print on your outdated in-house printer on copy paper, well, you're not going to get the best results from the great ideas, are you? And it sounds pretty obvious when you say it out loud, but it's amazing how often great concepts are hamstrung by poor executional decisions. And quality does not always mean expensive, but it's a commitment to presenting your message with excellence. So there you go. 5 secrets to set the stage for breakthrough creative ideas. The 5 secrets are: start by defining the challenge, then providing freedom for your creatives to come up with great solutions. The third secret is to give that team time to ruminate. The fourth secret is to create a circle of safety as you constructively, compassionately, and empathetically respond to ideas. And five, commit to quality execution. And guess what? Here is a bonus secret. I always suggest that you provide your team with feedback on results of the work. If the results are great, they will learn from the experience and their confidence will be bolstered for the next assignment. If the results were less than expected, then they'll learn. Advertising, marketing, and branding are not an exact science in this changing world. They are an ongoing, iterative process. So, I want to say thanks again to KidGlov's creative team for sharing these insights with me. And thank you all for joining me on Marketing Monday. If you have questions or thoughts, please drop them in the comments. I always love to hear from people. And I hope these 5 secrets will help you set the stage for breakthrough creative ideas that you will ultimately use to change the world. So this information will be up on KidGlov.com later this week. And when you go to the site, check out expertise in the navigation. Go to our page exclusively for purpose-driven business, and you'll find this post as well as additional blogs, case studies, and insights from other purpose-driven leaders and marketers on episodes of our Agency for Change podcast. So thanks again. Have a great week. Have a great Marketing Monday.